So let's begin with our Rapid City Common Council candidates. And would you agree, they're a great looking bunch up here tonight? We're going to begin tonight with Ward 3. In Ward 3, there are 3 running for this seat: Jerry Wright, the incumbent, Jerry Cole, and Michael Sanborn. Unfortunately, candidate Michael Sanborn could not be with us tonight, so I'm simply going to step off to decide. Did I encourage you all to shut off your cell phones? I think I did. I'm going to step off to the side, and we're going to ask if Jerry Wright will step to this podium, and Jerry Cole, if you will step to the other podium. So we begin tonight with Jerry Cole, with Jerry Wright. Our incumbent will begin with an opening 2-minute statement, and then we'll turn over to Jerry Cole.
Thank you for having me here. I'm Jerry Wright, City Council, Ward 3, Rapid City resident for 67 plus years, short of some time away with the Army and Montana, the railroad, and so forth. Graduate of Rapid City school system, and married to Patricia, my wife down here. We have 8 beautiful children and 10 grandchildren, and 1 on the way. 1 was born yesterday, and I formally announced at the council last night that Rapid City's population gained by 1. He was born into Ward 3. I'll have him registered by June 2nd. I'm a graduate of Tech, South Dakota School of Mines and Civil Engineering. I've got a master's degree in urban engineering and transportation planning at Purdue University. I came back to Rapid City after release from the Army and school, and went to work for a short time with the Planning Commission and entered private business where I did construction and heavy haul for 12 years. At the end of that, when the economy was a little rocky, I decided to take advantage of my education and went to work for the Planning Department of City Rapid City, Public Works Department of City Rapid City, and worked on the infrastructure of the city solid waste primarily, where we had started the recycling program, composting, extended the landfill. It was to close in '97 to it's currently open for another 50 years. I'm also retired in the United States Army, retired as a lieutenant colonel, proud to have served to protect your right to vote, pray, and speak. And I was called to active duty at the age of 59 and served at Kuwait as the executive officer for 3rd Army Headquarters Engineer Section. And by the grace of God, I went over, came back, and had a good experience. On the lighter side, when I landed, everybody thought I was the new Catholic priest because of my gray hair and old age. One young soldier thought I must have been a hell of a surgeon. That's exactly what he said. And I said, no, I'm an earth surgeon. But I was glad to serve, and it was an interesting experience. Since I've retired, I've returned to the city and served on the Planning Commission. And the stoplight's up. Thank you.
Thank you. Jerry Cole.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me here tonight. My name is Jerry Cole. I grew up in Nebraska, went to college at Chadron, just south of here, spent some time in the Black Hills during that 4 years I was there. And then I headed out west to Utah and for 11 years, and Wyoming for a couple, and then out up in the northwest to Washington State for 17 years. And all that time I worked in the public sector of parks and recreation, making the quality of life for the communities I worked for better. I moved down here to Rapid City to be the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Rapid City. That was in 2004. I've been here since then. I spent 8 years in the City of Rapid City trying to improve the quality of life for you, the citizens. In that time, bringing people together, organizations and individuals together, we built Vicki Powers Park. We redid College Park. We redid Scott Mello Park. We built 12-court tennis court. We did a lot of good for the City of Rapid City. We opened up a new aquatic center, and from there had recreation programs, increased the recreation programs in town, and I hopefully made the quality of life during that time better for everybody who lives here. And that's one of the reasons I want to be your councilman in Ward 3, is to help improve on the quality of life here in Rapid City. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, Jerry. On the screen, you will notice our first question. First question, and Jerry Cole, you'll be going first. What is the basis of your moral compass, and how will that influence what you decide is best for Rapid City?
When I graduated from high school, my mom and dad gave me a pocket watch. And on that pocket watch, it said, the only thing that we can give you when you leave this house is your name. And inside of that pocket watch was 4 words: dignity, well-being, and integrity. Dignity to treat people of all races, all people the same, with dignity in the world. Well-being, to create a well-being for not only my body, but a well-being for society. And integrity, to make the choices that need to be made with the facts. So that is my moral, that's what my true north is, that's what I rely on in tough times, is to look at those 3, remember my mom and dad, and go from there.
Thank you. Same question, Jerry Wright.
My compass is my faith, and it was inspired into me by my parents and the good sisters of St. Benedict and good Monsignor Costigan and Father O'Connell. They drilled into me not only the multiplication tables, which made me an engineer, they drilled into me the 10 Commandments and was tied into that, which made me a Christian to this date. Now, how do I handle that in my life? My dad always said to me to show up for a job, show up dressed for it, and do a day's work for a day's pay. The other part of it is, when you do that, do things for the right reason and do it right. And that's what I do when I do decisions on the city council. People may not agree with me, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but I assure you, I'm trying to make the right decision based on my research and trying to do it for the right reason. And that's what my basis is, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm going to continue to do for a few more years. I want to give you the right decisions with an R, not a W, for the right reason. Thank you.
Okay, our second question, and Jerry Wright, you'll be taking this first. What 3 city issues are most important to you, and how do you propose to deal with them?
I think our number 1 is infrastructure. We're working on drainage, and we're on our way, I think, to solve that. Other one is streets. How many in your road over a pothole on the way to work? The reason that we have those problems is lack of funding, and we need to get honest with you and say, to do this, it's going to cost money. How we're going to figure that out is up to us and up to you. The state was going to increase their fuel tax. I asked our legislatures to submit a tax for the local road and street count. That didn't happen, unfortunately. They were talking about a 1 cent sales tax, which is a possibility, but we may have to look at other sources of revenue. Other one is, I think we need to go into full cost accounting, so we track what it costs to run this city and what it really should be paid for and what should be paid for and why. Because a lot of things we're in trouble with are things were delayed so people could get elected to office or re-elected. Another thing is, I think we need a positive attitude in this community. We have a great deal of potential, but sometimes we get so wrapped around being negative, we become destructive. I think we need to generate that positive attitude that Rapid City can do things, we can make it. It's not, we don't need to be scared of ourselves or the future. We have that ability. If you look at where Rapid City came from in the 1890s to where we are today, it's absolutely phenomenal. People had a lot of courage, and they had fortitude, and they had the ability to take some risk and move ahead and get things done. We can do the same thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry Wright. Jerry Cole, same question.
A great city needs a lot of different things, but most of all, the 3 things that a great city needs is a great downtown, a great public transportation system, and a great park system. We're not there yet. We've come a long ways in the past 10 years with all of those, but we're not there yet. Our downtown has come far, but there's still too many storefronts that are left empty if you walk downtown. Our public transportation system is non-existent on the west side of town. If you go on the east side of town, you can catch a bus, but on the west side of town, you have to drive to a bus. We need to be able to provide all of our citizens, as we all age, public transportation. And a great park system. We have a really good park system. I was part of that park system, but a great park system that everybody within this city is 5 minutes from a park, a neighborhood park, a major park. We need to be able to provide safe pathways to those parks for our kids, and we don't have that yet. All of these things, if we provide these things, the rest will fall in place. More businesses will create more taxes. Better transportation system will bring people in here to live here because of the transportation that they can get around. Everybody believes our parking problem downtown is a parking problem. It's not a parking problem, it's a transportation problem. And then our parks. We've been sitting here on West Boulevard on the corner there since I got to town, trying to build a very nice entryway into Rapid City. Hasn't been done yet because other things take priority. We need to beautify this city. We need to provide parks. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we'll be going into our closing statements, although you will be hearing from them in just a little bit again, but our closing statements will begin with Jerry Cole.
Thank you. I got into this race because I wanted to make a difference in Rapid City again. I love this city. I adopted this city when I came here. This is where I'm going to live. This is probably where I'm going to die. And I want to make this city a great city. And that's why I'm running for Ward 3 Council. Thank you.
Jerry Wright.
Thank you. I'd have to say that with my professional education and training, not only in engineering, but public finance and urban sociology and transportation planning, my experience in the construction industry, trucking industry, and owning business, and my 23 years with Public Works, I learned a lot and did a lot for the city. I love this town. It is my town. I walked through downtown and looked at places where I used to spend my dime on Fridays when I went shopping with my grandmother. And I get real sentimental. I want to help this town be better and grow, be healthy. And I think we can do it. I know we can do it. And I can help you make those decisions. I appreciate your vote and your support. Thank you.
Will you join me in thanking Alderman Jerry Wright and Jerry Cole?